I asked Justin for forgiveness. His "I can try" was a start, but his smirk as he left felt unsettling. Back home, the success of the carefree pills, thanks to my mother's improvements, was overshadowed by Melissa's revelation. Mom was engaged to Ian Smith, the ruthless former head of the family that warred with the Hunts. Her disappearance led to his downfall and Justin Hunt's rise. Grandma and Melissa's focus on Cherry's schooling, the elite Golden Sunshine School, and the requirement of a top-class black card, the kind Justin Hunt possessed, courtesy of the Imperial League, brought me back to reality. My temporary stay had become permanent. Then my phone rang, an unexpected caller. Why? What secrets did he hold? What part did I, Nora Smith, have to play? And could I protect Cherry from the coming storm? The ringing was a relentless pull towards an unknown and likely dangerous future. Melissa noticed me staring at the phone and gave me a curious look. "Aren't you going to answer that?" I hesitated for just a second before turning away and swiping to accept the call. "Hello?" My voice remained steady. On the other end, a familiar rough voice. "Where are you?" "Sylvester Zabe. I'm in New York, sir." "What's the matter?" "Oh." A beat. "The Smiths are looking for you. They want you to treat someone's illness." My fingers tapped lightly against the desk. "The Smiths? Ian Smith?" There was a slow pause before his response. "You don't have to go. He isn't sick. He just doesn't want to live anymore." That was unexpected. He continued. "His internal organs are failing. They're using the carefree pill to keep him alive. Even if you go over, can you make him regain his will to live?" A flicker of something crossed my mind. "I understand. Thank you for telling me, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?" Sylvester's tone softened. "Carrying on my skills in traditional medicine would be the best way of repaying me. That's all I ask. Let me know if you ever want me to visit." He scoffed. "You're not a kid anymore. Stop being so clingy. I'm hanging up." I stared at the phone for a moment before setting it down. Melissa's voice broke the silence. "What was that about?" I exhaled, my voice light but vague. "Oh, just an old teacher." Later that day, I took Cherry to a park close to our house. The park's dappled sunlight should have been peaceful, but a knot of unease tightened in my chest. Cherry's small hand was warm in mine, her laughter a bright, innocent sound as she pointed at a squirrel. But I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. I saw him, the man in the stark white suit. He kept his distance, but his eyes, cold and focused, never left us. It wasn't a casual glance. It was a steady, unnerving observation. This wasn't the first time I'd seen him today. "Mommy, look!" Cherry tugged on my hand, her voice filled with childlike wonder. I forced a smile, but my heart hammered against my ribs. I couldn't risk Cherry. My fingers trembled as I slipped my phone from my purse, dialing Solo's number. His calm, efficient voice answered. "Solo, it's Nora. I need you to do something for me," I whispered, my voice tight. "I'm at the park, near the Willow Grove, with Cherry. There's a man following us. White suit, looks expensive, very observant. I've seen him several times today." "Describe him." Solo's voice was sharp, professional. I quickly relayed his appearance, my eyes darting around the park, searching for any other sign of danger. "I don't know who he is, but he's making me nervous. I need you to find out who he is and why he's following us. Quickly." "Understood. I'm on it. Stay put and keep Cherry close. I'll have an update for you within the hour." I ended the call, my hand shaking. I knelt down, my eyes meeting Cherry's innocent gaze. "Sweetheart, let's go get some ice cream, okay?" I'm suddenly really wanting some. I held her hand tighter, my senses on high alert. Every rustle of leaves, every passing shadow felt like a potential threat. I would protect my daughter no matter what. Back at the Hunt mansion, the psychiatrist, Dr. Albright, a man with keen eyes that seemed to see straight through to the soul, gestured for Justin to sit in a plush leather armchair. Dr. Albright steepled his fingers, his expression grave. "Mr. Hunt, we've run a battery of tests on Peter. His cognitive abilities are exceptional. Off the charts, in fact, but..." He paused, choosing his words with the precision of a surgeon. "His emotional development is not progressing at the same rate. It's as if his mind is a racing engine, far outstripping the chassis meant to contain it." Justin leaned forward, his usually impeccable posture losing its rigid edge. "What does that mean, doctor? Is he ill?" "It's not a simple illness, Mr. Hunt. It's a dissonance. a profound disconnect between his intellect and his emotional capacity. He perceives the world with an intensity, an understanding that most adults never achieve. But he lacks the emotional filters, the coping mechanisms, to process those perceptions healthily. Justin's jaw tightened. Is there a cure? There's no cure in the traditional sense, Mr. Hunt, Dr. Albright said, his voice low and somber. He leaned forward, his eyes locking with Justin's. This is where you come in, Mr. Hunt. Pete needs stability. He needs routine. He needs unwavering support and, above all, understanding. He needs to feel safe. Can you provide that for him? Because frankly, Mr. Hunt, his future depends on it. The weight of his words pressed down on Justin, heavy as a physical burden. He stared out at the rain-streaked window, the storm outside now dwarfed by the one raging within him. He thought of Nora, of Pete's comment that he had low emotional intelligence and how to make a connection with Mommy. He knew what he had to do. Back at Anderson Villa, I slung Cherry's bag over my shoulder and made my way downstairs. Melissa's voice called out, "Where are you going, Nora?" "To an interview," I replied. Her expression shifted slightly. "At Golden Sunshine," I nodded. "But we haven't secured an appointment yet. I've asked my family, but they haven't responded." Before I could respond, Cheryl came down. Cheryl asked, "Does attending that school even matter?" Melissa's demeanor shifted. "Nora's situation is different. If Cherry doesn't get in, it'll be harder for Nora to settle here." I observed Cheryl quietly as she started shaking her head. "Even if she gets a recommendation letter, she won't pass the interview." Melissa responded in a measured tone. "That's why it needs effort." I finally spoke. "You don't have to beg them. I already have an interview spot." Melissa and Cheryl both turned to me, surprised. Melissa's voice came first. "How did you get it, Nora?" "I arranged it myself." Melissa was taken aback. "But how?" Cheryl, however, seemed less impressed, more suspicious. "We can do this later," I said, glancing at the clock. Before I could finish, my phone rang. "I see Cheryl is looking." I answered immediately. "Hello?" A voice came through the line, urgent. "Nora, brace yourself. I think your father is planning something big to destroy you." Two urgent calls weighed on me. Sylvester's plea about Ian Smith, a dying man needing my skills, and a frantic warning about my father's next scheme. I stood at a crossroads. Ian's situation echoed a past I'd tried to escape, but the threat from my father loomed larger, his motives as dark as ever. I could only imagine Justin Hunt's internal struggle, his son's diagnosis forcing him to face his own limitations. Could he truly be the father Pete needed? Heading to Golden Sunshine, Cherry's future a dangling prize, I carried secrets and threats. Could I secure her place while dodging my father's unseen attack? Would the Smiths offer answers or more danger? The clock was ticking, answers elusive. Could even Justin weather the storms brewing?